multinational companies are pretty much, they've hijacked the money and they've kept it overseas. They're stashing their profits overseas because they don't want to pay the taxes on it, getting it back into the United States.
There are multinational corporations that have parked trillions of dollars in countries that offer them better tax relief.
Yeah. We're giving them a shot to bring all that money. It's all going to come back in. It's going to come back in immediately. It's going to be more than $3 trillion. So we're going to have that money come back in. It's going to put people to work so fast.
Trump wants to bring that money back over to the United States, and he's saying that, yeah, we'll get a rate of about 10%, maybe a little bit higher, maybe a little bit lower, but it'll be right there about 10%. Because who's going to want to bring that money over now when it's like what? It's like 30%, 35%.
No, he said 35%. Then he said it's almost 50.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah, he says almost 50. Yeah, 35%. Even Handy was like, yeah, who'd want to do that? This was a clown show, right? Who would want to do that, right? So he's like, yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to get that money back over here, and man, we're going to create all these jobs, man. We're going to create all these jobs by repatriating this money. Billions of dollars over there. What? Yeah, that'll be good for the American people. And presidents, Democrats, Republicans, they've been trying to do this, but they haven't. But I'm going to get it done. Donald Trump, your boy's going to get it done.
Okay, so... You said what? He said what? Democrats and Republicans want to do and try to do it?
Yeah, they try to do it, but they haven't been able to do it. This is something that Democrats and Republicans have wanted to do, but they haven't been able to get it done.
Oh, so the repatriation strategy hasn't been attempted before? Is that correct?
Hold on, wasn't he a Republican?
Yeah.
Wasn't that George Bush? George W. Bush. It was George W. Bush, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I believe he brought back $312 billion.
And what was the tax rate?
It was somewhere around like 5%. 5%. Something like that.
Okay.
It was very low.
Upon bringing this back, they were supposed to hold to an agreement.
Yes, they had promised. To make some efforts to develop, invest in research and development, and in jobs, of course. They promised. They promised to do these things. But then they reneged on that promise. They actually ended up just buying back some stock, paying some top executives.
And didn't they lay people?
They cut jobs.
They cut jobs.
And they cut research. They cut research and they cut jobs.
Okay.
And then let's put the end on it, because we're here right now, right? How did this money get back over there?
They sent it right back over.
Yeah, well, they didn't send it back over. They just started stashing it, money back overseas again.
Probably in hopes that somebody was gonna probably in hopes that somebody was going to suggest the same repatriation.
That would be predicting the future.
Yeah.
That would be like them being like, Mike, I mean, like, how could they do that? How could they surmise that maybe another president would be like, you know what, might be a good idea to get that money back over here? One of the things that he said about the repatriation that he clearly stated was that he wants it to create jobs. That's the same thing that was supposed to happen before. So if this money is supposed to help create jobs, are you mandating it, or are you just making them pinky swear?
I think it's going to be a pinky swear. Because he didn't mention anything about mandating, no. And if there was going to be such a mandate, he would have at least clued us in on one, at least one.
Because you know what? When you think about it, if your position is that you want this money back over here to create jobs for the American people, which you represent, and you're the jobs president. If that's your position, if you're being real, you would have to be real about the past and how it didn't work the last time. So you would probably be taking a hard stance this time.
You said be real about the past. What? What?
I'm saying, right?
See, okay. I see where you're going. Okay. So are you saying, is there a possibility that he didn't know there was a repatriation attempt that failed and it was the companies reneging on their on the provisions?
Well, look,
or are you saying he knows it happened before and he's just kind of like acting like it didn't happen before? So which is it? Does he not know?
I think we have to consider both because we see his incompetence. We have to consider both. But I would say that, come on, he has to know. He's a businessman, right? Some of his money probably probably came back over. So he has to know. He has to know. He's a businessman. He knows money. So he would have to know that there was a repatriation before that, several years before now, during George W. Bush's tenure.
Especially if, it affected him.
There's no way he doesn't know about the last repatriation. So again, if you are seriously the jobs president, if you seriously want this money to come back for the right purposes, then you would acknowledge the past and how it did not work for the intended purposes that were laid out. You would put provisions in place so that that money that comes forth now, that comes back overseas now, you would make damn certain that it actually leads to the creation of jobs in this country.
But
we know he's not going to do that.
But you forgot there's still another element, man.
What's that?
He wants to kind of reinvigorate or kind of, I would say, reenact those 1986 Reagan tax cuts, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Those tax cuts that created all those jobs.
Reagan-esque. Yeah.
Reagan-esque.
Isn't that what Hanley called it? Reagan-esque?
Oh, yeah. Boy, yeah, you gotta like the vocab. Gotta love the vocab.
You gotta throw Reagan in there.
Reagan-esque. And he said it like it meant something. Like just throwing the name out made it good.
And then Trump started boasting that, hey, actually, this is going to be far greater tax cuts than even Reagan did. Like, that's a good thing.
Like, that's a good thing.
How is that a good thing?
You know what's so funny? You know what he said about the Reagan tax cuts in 1991? He said, this tax act was just an absolute catastrophe for the country, for the real estate industry, and I really hope that something can be done. On the Joan Rivers show, he said, what caused the savings and loans crisis was the 1986 tax law change. It was a disaster. It took all of the incentives away from investors. That's what he said about the Reagan-esque tax cuts over about 30 years ago almost.
But his rhetoric has changed a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
A little bit.